Over the course of the last 2 years, I've been trying to create a video production business. Um, I've learned a lot, I guess, over the last 2 years. But the main thing I think has been that I'm not a business person. I don't know how to, you know, talk to people to get sales and like meet new people to network and then get newer people into my like web of sales or like I don't know how to up prices properly. I know what I'm worth and I know what I should be charging, but at the same time the quality of my work doesn't feel high enough to charge a certain amount, so I don't. Um, and that's kind of it. I just don't feel good enough to be having a high enough price. But even still, I don't seem to get clients. It's a whole thing. It's not really why I'm here today, but it is just one small piece of this puzzle that's been um, why I think I need to quit doing this. Um, Business is the main thing. Also, my skill over the last 6 months has been really questionable. Um, I used to think I was really good at this, and I think at some point I was. But something about these last 6 months, every project I've been on has been met with some sort of disagreement or, you know, some complaint about the quality or, you know, anything. And I feel like at some point it's like I'm not improving. I feel like I haven't improved in years. And like you can look at these videos that I make on my channel and kind of see this growth that I've had, but that's in controlled environments where everything has been thought out. There was an idea beforehand, and I'm always able to execute with enough time. But it seems with all these client work that there's never enough time. It's always show up, get something done in an hour, and there's never any planning with the client beforehand. There's never any this or that, but there is always like a time constraint. There's always a reason why it can't be perfect. And that's fine. You don't need to be perfect. But being rushed is something that I thought for the longest time I was really good at. And I think I am under these circumstances where it's you actually show up and you film something in an hour and then you try to get something good out of it. I think what I get out of it is more good than a normal person might be able to get, but I'm not at the point where I can just show up, film for something for an hour, and then make it genuinely good all the way through. It gets parts good, most parts not good, and it's maybe I'm just not accepting the right work. Maybe I'm accepting jobs that can't be done. But regardless, that many in a row really damaged my mental. I couldn't muster up any confidence for the last 4 months. I thought it would be fine because it was, the new year, but it's already the middle of March, end of March almost, and that's a fourth of the year. An entire fourth of the year has been dedicated to this negative mental that I can't do anything right, that every job that I've been on has been a failure in one way or another. and I'm just not good enough. Every project I've been a part of has been not good from me for one reason or another. The projects we did last year came out good. The two that we actually like did, but everything else, all my solo ventures, all of my little Fiverr gigs and everything, none of them turned out well, and it really hurt. And there's just this weird click in my head that happened last year that I think broke me down in a way where for the longest time when I started creating video, I wanted to make business videos, commercial videos, industry videos where it was just you interview like a CEO about his company and he talks about it, and or you film real estate. Nothing creative. Nothing creative was ever the goal. I always said I didn't want to get into movies. I didn't want to get into TV. I just want to film, you know, the technical part of filmmaking. And then for some reason last year, the bug in my head said, we need to make things that look good. We need to make things that creatively fulfill you. And it's more interesting and it's more fun to me to do. But in that same token, I sort of gave up looking for these industry jobs, which resulted eventually in me not having enough money. I no longer have money to keep doing this full time. And then even in that pursuit, I ended up not making anything. I made one or two things, but I didn't make too much that creatively fulfilled me anyway, that I can show people. These that I make, these little vlogs, have came out really well, but I think I'm quitting freelancing full time, and now this video stuff is just some hobby that I have the means to create a business for, but in my current state, I'm not able to execute on this idea. And I think that's where we're at.
Touch me in silence, there's no need to talk. Running like children, crumbling like chalk. I wonder if dry land has always been there. Fingernails orange, sand in my hair. This is a first feeling the wind blow. It's never felt so slow. Nothing you don't know. Maybe I'm small, you're even smaller. It makes the sun warmer, makes the trees taller. I'll go back for seconds, as sure as Earth spins. 86,000 more seconds for you to be in.
So, to get past the mental block, maybe it wasn't to get past it, but I decided to write down every project I did last year. Big or small, my own, client work. I didn't really write any of the personal projects, but there were many also. And it made me realize just how much work I actually did. And I had been hung up on all of the recent negative reviews of my work. because I figured maybe I peaked a couple of years ago. Maybe I'm just having some sort of problem now. And going through and seeing all of the work that I did, good or bad, just made me realize how many things I've done. It's silly to say out loud, but looking at that list made me realize just how much work I've put in and how many good things I've actually made, things I'm proud of still. And that is what ultimately got me out of the block. Just seeing all of that work, it sort of motivated me for the rest of this year. You know, how much work am I going to make this year? What are all these projects that I've already done this year? You know, and I got excited for the first time in a little while for this stuff. There's a flashback to another video I've made. I believe it was around the end of COVID. I think it was December of 2022. Is that I miss being on set, like, a lot. I missed working because at that point I hadn't gone to school in a little while, so I didn't have any projects to do there. I hadn't, done anything for a while. I was just working at my 9 to 5. And even though it might not be a project every week or, a project even every month, last year, maybe I think I had a couple projects every month, but being on set again was that joy. That was that thing I was looking for. And I started to, not feel that way because I was just there. I was in it. But looking back, I'm glad I get to do this. I'm glad I get to be on set. I'm glad I get to do something creative for my job. And I think I'm out of the funk that I was in. I'm slowly getting my confidence back. I'm taking a lot more care into the process and what I'm trying to make, and I'm learning again. I think my crux for the longest time was thinking that I didn't need, not that I didn't need to learn anymore, but it felt like I knew everything that I needed to know to do what I wanted to do. And that sort of clouds your thought. It makes you think that, everything that you make should be good. It makes you think that every time you make something bad, that it wasn't as good as I could have made it. So why wasn't it that good? It kind of makes you forget to think about all of the fundamentals and things like that. So I'm glad I had this problem for the last couple months. It really forced me to look inward and improve. And I think when I started this video, when I started the idea of this video at the beginning of March, I thought this was going to be my goodbye. I thought I was going to end with this video saying, maybe I'll be back one day and I'm done for now. And I'm going to go have a 9 to 5 job and I'm going to go be a hobbyist video person, photographer. This isn't going to be my job anymore. I'm going to go figure something else out. But now, by the end of the month, I'm happy again. I guess I'll see you next time.